start. Okay, welcome to my presentation for the upcoming RHCSA training. Let's talk about a little bit of my training. I started doing my trainings for almost a year now, and without any problem, and with all the success on my students. They write the exam and they pass the exam. You see on the slide, my nephew Dominguez, and I already Red Hat certified engineer. So I'm working also for more than 3 years on continuous or as system administrator on the engineers team on one company here in the United States. And I'm doing this for not for fun, not for money, but just for share my knowledge about this certification. Also for the RHCE, but on this time, I didn't start yet one training for this. I mean, I don't have a group because I'm not going to start a group without, um, I mean, with 3 people. I going to start at least with 10 students. Okay, let's move on this presentation. First of all, I'm going to show you the objective of the RHCSA exam. The objectives are very clear and are public to everyone. So means that you can see it on the Red Hat website if you're looking for Red Hat and certified system administrator. You will see all the objective. And like I just numbered like in 1, 2, 3, and so on, and I put an asterisk in front of each subtopics. You see, the first is understand and use essential tools, and they group pretty much everything inside this main objective. The second one is operate running system, and they give you like a few subjects about how to operate a running system. Of course, we cover this on my training, everything. But take a look on the order. This order is from the Red Hat website. Probably you see it every day if you are on the preparation. Let me continue. You see the number 3, configure local storage. This is very, very, very important topic on the exam. You need to know how to configure a local storage. Also, configure and create a file system. These 2 topics are related, right? So keep in mind on this. We continue the next slide. You will see the objective number 5 and number 6. I put a number because it's easy to me to tell you. And deploy and configure and maintain systems. So this topic is huge, but apparently in the first look, yeah, you can see it's huge, but it's not. It's very easy and short lesson. Like for this full subtopics, it's very easy. And the number 6, manage user and groups. You can see it's very pretty much create, delete, and change password, and modify local groups and memberships and the other topics. Let's continue, but this is not new for you because you already know this, because this is from the Red Hat website. You see, I think it's the last topic. They say manage security, firewall, SSH key, C Linux, and pretty much C Linux. This is a very important topic on the exam also, because C Linux is another layer for the security. So let's now move on my breakdown sessions. This is very important because some people teach like if you see on the previous slices, you see the start and using the commands, start using the tools and everything like this. But in the real world, you don't know how to access to a system. You don't know at this point how to break the root password. If you don't know how to break the root password, how to configure the network, or how to switch to multi-user from multi-user target to graphical target, how do you going to use these tools? Yeah, you can use it, but you have a limitation. This is the difference between other trainings on the market and my training. I'm going to show you now. You see my training, this is the first class. In my first class, I covered some subtopics from objective number 2, operate running systems. And then I just also cover objective number 5, is say deploy, configure, and maintain system. If you see this topic, it's pretty much boot in different targets, configure a network, what else? Interrupt the boot process in order to get access to the system. They're talking about to break the root password, modify the bootloader, and also configure system to boot into a specific target automatically. So pretty much you see, wow, this is pretty much that I need for the first class. I need to know how to access to the system, how to install the system, how to kickstart the system. That's why I covered this on my first class. It looks huge, but isn't. It's very easily. Well, for me, because I teach you. Okay, the second class is very interesting. You see, I cover how install and update software packages from Red Hat Network or remote repository. So this is very easy. And then I cover the topic, the objective number 6, and a few subtopics from create, delete, and create password, and delete and modify groups and group memberships. So if you say I follow like a order when you are working on one real exam now in one real environment, in a real VM or on your practice VM, I try to keep this on this way, grouping all the topics that are related in one class, or I split on one class and the next class I'm going to cover the next objectives that are related with the previous one. So this is very important on my training. Okay, I will keep going. Class number 3, for example, you see I covered again. Let me go back. Install and update software packages from Red Hat Network. You see this subtopic here. I always cover on the class number 3 because I think it's very important to understand how to do this, because I don't going to teach you or I don't going to explain you this during the rest of the classes, because we do this one time and that's it. Also, this is related when you try to install a new kernel, when you try to update the kernel. It's very important. And you see, it's pretty much you say, oh, this topic number 5 is very easily, but what about topic number 6? Objective number 6, configure a system to use an existing authentication service for using a group information. The translation of this, they are talking about LDAP and RFS, or Kerberos. Oh, they're talking about to bind the system into a Kerberos server, into a LDAP server. So this is very important. This class say 3 objectives only, but it's huge. Okay. Okay. In the class number 4, I start working with storage, local storage, configure, swap, also a brief introduction about LVM. And you see create and remove physical volumes, assign physical volumes to volume groups, and create and delete logical volumes. So in this class, I give you a brief introduction about LVM, but the main point here, how to create new partitions, how to mount, how to make a file system. On class number 5, oh, sorry. You see in class number 5, I also do the same. I cover the same topic that we did on class number 4, because it's very important to understand how to work with LVM. And also I gave you some examples how to work of, you see, extended system logical volumes. So pretty much on my training, I don't give you like a blah, 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 blah. No, I just explain a little bit the background, how we are going to work on the class, on this class, and then we start touching the system. I don't have slices, I don't have pictures, no, just one basic picture, very, very basic, with 3 circles, 3 rectangles, and 3 squares, and say this is this is the group, this is the LVM, very easily. I don't give you like a pretty slide with pictures, no. Because the important is that you understand how to work in the terminal, how to do all the things on the terminal. You don't care about the pictures. This is another thing that is different from other trainings. So let's move on to class number 6. You say create and configure file system. We still continue on topic number 4, because these 3 topics are kind of related. ACL, group collaboration, and diagnose and correct file permissions problems. You see, this class number 6 is very it's awesome. This class is very awesome. Okay, let's continue class number 7. You see, we start doing something we finish, you see, objective number 4 again, but this is, I think, is the last subtopic from objective 4. It's a mount and unmount CIF and NFS network file system. And on you see number 5, cron, IT, and another thing that we could see on this slide. On class number 8, let's move on a little bit faster. You see on class number 8, it's huge, right? This class number 8 is the first objective. But at this point, tell me, you already know how to work with SSH, with output input redirections, and switch to users to create and edit test files, move, delete, and copy files and directories. You see, why are you going to start with this? Because I don't going to start with this because I'm going to spend time and money for you. That's why I don't start with this class, with the first class. I left to the end because at this point we can cover this class very, very fast, and we can do something like questions, right? Or I have questions on class number 7, and we can continue the loop, okay? You can ask, and we can do things together, like resolve one problem for class number 5. There are a point that I make a break, like to cover or to recap everything from the previous class. And this is the point here. Because here, probably I'm going to teach you only how to compress, unpack, and uncompress file using tar, star, gzip, and bzip2. I think this is the most thing here. How to use output, input redirection, and grep regular expressions. It's very basic. We can do this in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But the important thing you will see later on. Okay, let's move to, also here you can see how to read the documentation. This is very important, but during my training, I use the documentation every time. So you will see how to use the documentation. So this point pretty much is a recap, you know? This point, they locate and read and use system documentation is a recap for all the previous classes. So let's continue to class number 9. On class number 9, we're going to operate running system. Here we are going to focus on KVM, right? How to access to a virtual console, stop and start virtual machines. We can do something like how to create snapshots on KVM, start, stop, and check the start of network services, secure transfer files between systems, identify CPU memory intensive process, blah, blah, blah. This is very basic at the same on the previous class. We already know this. How to work with journals is new for Red Hat 7, right? But this is pretty much what we're going to see in class number 9. On class number 10, we are going to focus on security. we're going to see all the points from security. Firewall, SSH key-based authentication, C Linux, everything related with C Linux and file context, and the Boolean settings to modify system C Linux settings, and how to troubleshoot and C Linux. This is diagnose and address runtime C Linux policy violations. I can give you a few samples. We can do a few practice on this C Linux because it's very, very awesome. And about the firewall, well, if you are comfortable working with IP tables, it's all right, but I'm going to teach you how to use firewall CND because it's new on Red Hat 7. So let's continue. On the very, very interesting about my training is on class number 11 and 12. We are going to do one practice exam each day. These practice exams are from books, from some question that some people send me, oh, I need to know how to do this. And I try to make a fit on my environment using my IP address, using my host names, my VM clients. So in that way, we can try to fit. Of course, the real exam, no one knows the real exam, but I can give you one huge or very hard exam, practice exam, and we can do on the training. If you see there are a lot of objectives, it's impossible to cover everything in one exam, but you need to be ready for everything. But during my training, I give you the key points to do the exam on the right way, like tips, like, okay, don't do this never, reboot your system, double check the typos, a few tips that you can hear from me on the training. Let's continue. Okay, now, what is the thing that no one wants to see? The terms and conditions on my training. As every training, as every company, every website, every seller, there are terms and conditions about the training. The terms and conditions are very basic. It just cover me like for people that trying to be smart. So I'm going to cover like what is the difference about my training from the rest of the courses. The difference here, you will, after you register on my training, you will get a copy of this, and you need to agree this. But let's cover this by read online. Like the most important here is that going to provide you how to create your own lab. I'm going to help you how to create the lab. This is the most important thing. I'm going to, in class previous start the training, we meet together and I teach you how to create the lab, because the lab is the most important thing, because without the lab you cannot practice anything. And the key of everything, and the key to pass the exam and the success is practice, 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 and practice. Other thing here, each session, and the duration of the class is between 90 and 2 hours. It's 120 minutes. We schedule the training classes together in the group, in order to fit the right time for everyone, right? We can do 1, 2, or 3 sessions per week according to the group if they agree. And the cost, $120 or American dollars. Okay, the objective, you see the objective are public here. That's the URL. Let's continue to next. Guarantee to pass the exam. No one can guarantee this. Even Red Hat can guarantee this. They charge you like a lot of money, and they don't guarantee nothing. The only guarantee that you will get is practice, practice, practice. If you practice, you're going to pass the exam. One of my students, they passed the exam, not with perfect score that I like, but they passed the exam, and they are very, very happy with the training. And another point, it's refundable? No, not at all. Full payment or partial payment is not refundable under any circumstances. In case you make a dispute or you open a dispute on PayPal and requesting refund for the payment or of the classes, and I will show the same document. This document is the agreement. If you agree this, you will say I don't going to open any dispute with PayPal, because the only payments that I accept is PayPal, because in order to protect me this way, because if not, the people just send the money, they receive the class, and they open the case, say I want the refund, I lose the money and time, and this is another way. Okay, but this is if you pay for something, you will be there, you will go to show up on the at the day of the class. So this is not make sense for anyone say, okay, I went to pay, I went to pass the exam. This is the way, and the price is very cheap according to other training centers. Is very cheap. Books and documentation to use. I don't use any documentation. My documentation is my knowledge, my head, and everything that I can show you. For example, like I put some example. If you type on Google how to extend the logical volume, you will get hundreds and hundreds lines and posts that people did. But the good thing is that you need to know how to apply this on your system. So you need to know how to read, know how to scan. This is very important. What distribution should you use in the training? You can use whatever, any distribution, it doesn't matter. Even you can use Windows, but you need a VM running Linux, right? You can use Fedora, CentOS, or Red Hat Enterprise Linux. I recommend to use Red Hat Enterprise Linux because the exam is on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. It's not on CentOS, right? All my documentation, all my classes are based on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. The script that I'm going to give you for build the environment and to start my practice exam is based on Red Hat Enterprise Linux, using the variables and all the places that are fit on Red Hat Enterprise Linux, not in CentOS, because between these two systems, 99% of all the things are the same, but sometimes not. You can use a 60-day subscription from the Red Hat website, or you can download in order to enroll or in order to get the Red Hat ISO, you can go to developers.redhat.com and you can get the free copy of the software without any obligation. And you can then register in order to get 30 or 60 days to trials. You can update some testing. And after that, okay, the trial version expired, but your system is still up and running. The only difference is that you cannot get new updates. This is the only difference, okay? This is very important to know. The next part of my terms and conditions, what if I cannot attend a paid session? That means you cannot attend to a session that you already paid. This is nothing that I can do, because if you go to college and you pay for the semester, for 2 or 3 classes, and you don't show up on one class, and the teachers say, okay, you have 3 absent, so you are no longer be on the class, well, nothing, they can do nothing, and you lose the money. It's pretty much the same. This is not my concern or my problem if you cannot show on the training. It's the same if you go to a training center. If you don't show up on the training, the teacher can do nothing for you. You miss the class. A good point is number 7, the sessions are recorded. And I will record some sessions, but my goal is not my priority. This is not my priority. I mean, if you record them, that's fine, but I don't authorize you to publish or distribute it in any way. So means that you can record using any record my desktop or whatever, but it's just for you. This is not my priority to do this, because if I do this, well, I will do another thing. Okay, how to pay for the classes? I always set PayPal payments, and if you know another payment for this, well, it's up to you. You can use Western Union, but I prefer PayPal because it's more secure. The money is still there. You never lose the money if you make a wrong transactions to a wrong people. No, you never lose it. Of course, when you register my training, I will send you these terms and conditions, and you need to reply me back with the word agree. This is only that I need. After that, we can start working on the group that I create for the training. In this case, I will create, I think, a Telegram group. It's kind of WhatsApp group, but it's pretty much the same. But after you agree this, we can start working together with all the other students in order to get the right date and time for start the classes. Okay. So now, I don't know if you have any question, but I think I finished my presentation for my oncoming RHCSA class. I mean RHCSA class. You have any question, you can type it. It's fine. Let me go back to my slide. Okay, if you don't have any question, this is my presentation. And if you need like something, the information to join my training, just send me an email to, let me see if I can type my email over here. Yes, just send me an email to fdvalero @gmail.com, right? And just on the subject, just put something like RHCSA training, and you will get, I will send you the information with the group and everything, right? In order to get inside the group. Okay, yeah, this is totally wrong, you see, but let's show something. Okay, yes, it's just this one. It's very important. Let me see if I can scroll all up in order to show you. Okay, this is the information that you need. This is my email address, and the subject, just put something like this, and this gonna be enough in order to give you the information about my training. You will get the group link to join, and after you join, you will participate with everyone on my class. Okay, this is everything that I have for you, and thank you for joining, and I hope to see you soon on my training.